Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 1, Reunion Part 2. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, you're one of my people, welcome back. Yeah, we still working on this webcam. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me with this webcam. I'm trying to keep my head down because it seems like you get a reflection off my glasses, and I know that's a little bit distraction, but this is where we at right now. My camcorder will not fit on my tripod because it's a smaller one, and this is what we stuck with. Now, Mary, she had a lot to say this reunion, more so than she even had to say this whole entire season. Yeah, but she was, fessing up to some things, telling her truth, whether it was a whole truth, half truth, or a flat out lie. She was letting her words and her statements be known. Now we're starting off with her older glands. Now she said it was medically necessary for her to get her older glands removed. It wasn't so much of, so I won't be smelling musty. It was more so of these things was getting infected and it runs in my family and I got these bad boys removed because they was starting to get infected. They was starting to have all kind of boils on me and she was just done with it. Now Jen is saying that she wasn't even at the hospital today. Did she when Mary made this whole you smell like hospital situation? So I'm like, did you tell Mary at some point that you have an auntie that was in the hospital that you visit her? And then she's like, well, you do smell like hospital, or it smells like hospital. I don't know. Like, how would she know that you had an auntie in the hospital for her to say that you smelled like hospital? I wouldn't try to delve all into that because I really didn't care. It was like, okay, you went at the hospital that day. This was what Andy was asking. Then why would she think you smell like hospital? Like, that don't make no sense. But then again, this is Jen and Mary. So now, as far as not wanting to go to the convenience store where there's black people hanging out, it was she didn't want to go to the convenience store where there's sketchy people hanging out at. And I was like, I understand that. Like in Houston, in my area, there's a good chance there's gonna be some people hanging outside of the convenience store. My thing is, I just don't want you asking me for money. There's plenty of times outside of the convenience store, they just hanging out because that's the hangout spot for whatever reason. They just hang out there. I don't really see so much sketchy people because I don't really live in a sketchy area, but I do live in an area where they just be hanging outside the convenience store. And there's a good chance of you go to a convenience store, somebody standing out there asking for $1, asking for some change, asking for something. There was one time me and my husband we was leaving something that was going on at church and we won a pound cake. I put it in the back seat because I was gonna give it to my husband's grandfather. We go to the convenience store to get me a cappuccino, and on the way out, this man was asking for some money. I was like, I don't got no money. He's like, you ain't got nothing on your card. Like, first of all, sir, when do we start asking people to use stuff on their credit card? I was like, no, I'll just, use my last my money. But what's that in your back seat? Sir, why are you even looking at my card? So I can understand that kind of sketchy situation. There was another time this man asked for some change because he wanted to get him something to eat. He gave him like $1.50. Like, what can I get with that? Burger King right there. Right there, sir. That's where you can get you something to eat at for under $1.50. So I understand about the whole sketchy situation, but she's mad because Jen tried to make it seem like she was racist or whatever because she don't want to be around where there's a lot of black. She's like, I don't care who it is. If you sketchy, I don't want to go there. Now, Mary, she admits that she's the one who said she feels that Meredith and Lisa are scared of Jen. It's so much of they're scared to tell her certain things because they're scared of her reaction and how she gonna blow up. And I was like, I can understand that because look how Jen is acting in several situations. Blowing up in Mary because Mary said she smelled like hospital. Blowing up in Meredith because Meredith hung out with at Mary's church, called her a granddaddy hunter. Blew up at Whitney because Whitney brought some information to her. She always blowing up. So they're so much they're scared of her reaction. And Mary's like, yeah, I think they scared of her. This is what I'm saying. This is how I feel. But it's like, no, it's just more so for her reaction. I was like, I don't know. At this point, don't really care. Now, as far as this wheel that, grandmama, willed Mary off to the granddaddy. I was like, that's not even legal. That's against the law, if you ask me. And I don't really know the law like that, but I was like, you can't be willing people out. But it wasn't a physical will. It was more of, I want you to take care of my husband who was 20 years younger than me. So once I'm gone, he'll have somebody to take care of him. She was like, that's kind of odd. I don't want to do that. And grandma was like, are you too good to take my place? Now, apparently, Robert Sr. didn't know anything about this conversation of grandma, like, all right, girls, huddle around. I ain't going to be in this world too long. So when I go, I want one of y'all to take care of, granddaddy. Mary, you seem like my go to girl. So I want you to take up the spot of getting with your step granddaddy once I'm gone. This is what Mary says how things went. And they prayed on it for like 2 years, and then I was like, well, this is what grandma wanted. We've been praying on it, so I guess we're gonna do this. But even though she was married before Robert Sr., Robert Sr. is not the reason why she got divorced from her first husband. It seemed like she wanted to say that he was cheating or something like that, but she said irreconcilable differences, and that's why they divorced. Robert Sr. had nothing to do with it, so let's get that together. Then she was going on and on about how she prefers a lighter skinned man, not a darker skinned man. Like, don't get her wrong. She loves all the melanated men, whether you on the lighter side or the darker side. She loves them all, but she prefers a lighter skinned man. Because at one point it sounded like she said that Robert Sr. wasn't black. And I was like, that looked like a black man to me. But, he's just really like her, preference. And as far as does she love him, he gives her, Chanel bags and things like that. And when she got onto that, I kind of like drifted off and stopped paying attention because she started crying like, this is how he shows me love by giving me Chanel bags and things like that. I was like, oh, okay. Heather and Whitney are cousins. It's just that they didn't know they were cousins until like later on in life. They were friends first, and then it was like we found out we was cousins. So that's why like we are cousins, but this is my friend. We were friends first, and then we found out we were cousins. Now y'all, the last 5 minutes of Lisa going on or whatever she was talking about, I tuned out as well. Andy, he was on his phone. Mary was looking like, what is going on? Heather, she applying makeup, really not paying attention. I'm like, I guess it may have had something to do with Lisa saying that she didn't know Heather, even though she's the one who suggested Heather be on the show. And like, girl, make up your mind. Do you know her or do you don't? Because earlier in the season you said you don't know who she is, but you knew all these things about her. Like, yeah, I heard she was good time girl. She was doing this, that, and the third, but I don't know her. I don't know her, but I'm going to invite her on this show. It's kind of feeling like the whole Wendy and Karen situation from Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, girl, we sit on several boards together, and it ain't but six of us. You know me. Stop tripping. But she was going on this whole tangent about friends and all this other stuff, and I kind of tuned out, which I really need to stop doing. If I'm gonna be working with stuff, I need to stop tuning out. But it's like it seemed like she was talking about nothing, and I was doing it this morning because I was too tired to do it yesterday. Like I was entirely too, and I still have to do Love and Hip Hop Reunion. I gotta see if it's recorded or I gotta find it on VH1.com, y'all. But y'all don't even care about that. So y'all, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It's free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, you can share it with your people. You can come over and be one of my people. If you're already one of my peoples, welcome back. Y'all know what to do. Tell your people to tell their people to come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.